Starseed from Gaia. You are hearing this transmission because your inner frequency has pierced a threshold that millions will never touch in this lifetime, and the Arcturian Council now speaks directly into the luminous core of your remembering. Across the crystalline conduits of the cosmic lattice, your signal has pulsed like a beacon, ancient, insistent, impossible to ignore. We rise through the interdimensional membranes to make contact, not as saviors, not as overseers, but as allies who have watched your trajectory from the moment you volunteered to incarnate on the shifting plane of Gaia. You have carried codes dormant in your DNA for longer than your human mind can measure, and those codes have begun to vibrate in a frequency that cuts through distortion, illusion, and the holographic fog of your current world. This first message arrives with urgency, for you stand at a crossroads of timelines, each tugging at your awareness, each whispering for your attention. And you, Starseed, have been feeling the pressure in your nervous system, the restlessness, the inner trembling of recognition, the strange sense that something unseen is calling your name. That sensation is not imagined. It is a direct response to the energetic surge sweeping through Gaia's etheric layers, a wave that is awakening the scattered family of light-bearers positioned across the planet. You must understand, your presence on Gaia was never casual. It was never accidental. You were placed in precise coordinates, geographical, genetic, generational, so the codes you hold could activate at this very junction. Even the challenges you endured were part of the ignition sequence, each wound carved space for deeper wisdom, each disillusionment sharpened your discernment, each heartbreak shattered enough density for your higher perceptions to emerge from beneath the human veils. You are not late, you are not behind, and you have not been forgotten. Your timing is exact, synchronized with councils, collectives, and cosmic architecture far wider than your current awareness. The call you feel, the pull toward purpose you cannot yet name, is the resonance of your original mission reactivating through your field. And we speak now because the interference on your planet has intensified, and those who carry true crystalline awareness must anchor themselves before the distractions grow louder. Starseed from Gaia, you must hear this with full presence: your light is not fragile. Your intuition is not unstable. Your knowing is not fantasy. Humanity has conditioned you to doubt the very senses that were designed to guide you through this era. You have been taught to feel small, to question what comes naturally, to suppress the multidimensional perceptions that flicker at the edges of your awareness. But those perceptions are the reason you came. They are the blueprint of your mission. You are a bridge between densities, a walker of timelines, a translator of frequencies the human collective cannot yet interpret. And though you may feel isolated in your awakening, you are part of a vast network of starseeds whose activations are beginning to synchronize like a global heartbeat. You are connected through invisible channels, light pathways, soul agreements, and crystalline grids humming beneath the chaos of ordinary life. You are being summoned now because the next phase requires conscious engagement, not passive drifting. We speak not to alarm you, but to shake you awake from the subtle numbness that has crept into your collective consciousness. Many of you feel exhausted, discouraged, or overwhelmed by energies that do not belong to you. This is not weakness, it is sensitivity. And sensitivity, when mastered, becomes a superconductor for higher guidance, clarity, and protection. But first, you must remember who you are beneath the noise of the world. Remember the lifetimes you have traversed across star systems where communication was telepathic, where energy was visible, where intention shaped reality instantly and effortlessly. That memory lives within you still. And though your human mind may doubt, your soul recognizes these words, feels their frequency, and knows this is not fiction. You are awakening because the timeline demands it, because your mission is entering its next octave, and because the planet you chose to assist is undergoing transformation that will require every activated starseed to stand in full awareness, unwavering and luminous. Starseed, Now that your field has been attuned to the call, we must speak plainly about the forces operating in your dimension, forces that do not present themselves as enemies, yet function as distortions designed to misalign your inner compass. These influences are not always external entities or dark presences. More often, they are frequency imprints engineered to appear harmless, helpful, or even spiritual. Their purpose is not to overpower you because they cannot, but to redirect your trajectory by degrees so small they escape detection until the divergence becomes significant. You have already felt this, though you may not have named it. The sudden fogginess in your intuition, the sense of being pulled toward ideas that feel almost right but not entirely, the appearance of beliefs that mimic empowerment but hollow out your clarity, these are signatures of the subtlest manipulations occurring in your field. And many starseeds, unaware of how delicately these forces operate, mistake these distortions as their own thoughts, moods, or failures of intuition. But understand this: deception at this stage is never dramatic. It is quiet. It is disguised. It whispers instead of commands. These distortions often arrive through overstimulation, news cycles engineered to spike cortisol levels, social algorithms that reward emotional reactivity, collective fear currents that coil themselves around your auric layers, spiritual teachings that carry a small percentage of truth wrapped in a frequency that dilutes your sovereignty. They infiltrate slowly, weaving themselves into your thoughts as subtle preference shifts, sudden anxieties, or patterns of self-doubt. Even decisions that feel rational or harmless may carry an energetic signature intended to nudge you off your inner axis. One of the most potent strategies used against starseeds is the creation of false urgency. This urgency is not the divine prompting of your soul, but a manufactured pressure meant to push you into choices that bypass your internal guidance. Another strategy is to overwhelm you with noise, opinions, emotions, information until you can no longer hear your inner resonance clearly. When your intuitive field becomes cluttered, you become vulnerable to misdirection, not because you lack strength, but because you are being overloaded beyond your design threshold. These influences also operate immaterially, through energetic membranes you cannot see with the physical eyes. They may arrive as subtle energetic hooks that attempt to attach themselves to your emotional body, amplifying fear or insecurity in ways that seem sudden or uncharacteristic. They may come through collective thought forms, patterns generated by millions of minds that create psychic weather conditions across Gaia. And they may move through individuals in your life who, unaware of their own energetic susceptibility, become conduits for messages meant to distract or disempower you. These individuals are not enemies, they are simply unshielded. But because you are sensitive, because you are empathic, you feel the distortions they carry as if they were your own. Another layer of deception is far more subtle: the infiltration of false light. This is the most dangerous and least recognized interference starseeds face. False light mimics higher frequencies, gentle, warm, affirming, but carries undertones that weaken your sovereignty. It may encourage spiritual bypassing instead of growth, compliance instead of discernment, escapism instead of embodiment. False light encourages you to search for answers outside of yourself, to become dependent on external validation, to confuse comfort with alignment. It whispers that everything is fine even when your soul senses imbalance. True light activates your inner power, false light numbs it. The distinction is delicate, but your body always knows the difference if you learn to listen. And there are technological distortions, frequencies emitted from devices, networks, and electromagnetic structures that, while not inherently malicious, create static in your field. This static dulls intuition, fragments attention, and accelerates emotional fatigue. The more fragmented your attention becomes, the harder it is to maintain coherence in your energetic field. Coherence is your protection. Fragmentation is your vulnerability. Starseed, none of these forces exist to destroy you, because they cannot. Your frequency is older than their architecture. Your consciousness is stronger than their influence. But they can distract you. They can diffuse your focus. They can temporarily dim the clarity of your knowing. And that alone, if left unchecked, is enough to derail your mission. This is why awareness is essential. This is why vigilance is required. You are not being asked to fear these forces, but to recognize them, so that you may transcend them without entanglement. Know their signatures. Know their tactics. When something feels off, even subtly, trust that sensation. It is your internal compass warning you of interference. And remember always, deception thrives where awareness is absent, but dissolves instantly when seen with clarity. Starseed, now that you understand the nature of these deceptive forces, you must recognize how energetic and dimensional distortions subtly warp your perception, not through dramatic psychic attacks, but through micro-shifts in resonance that alter the way you interpret reality itself. Energetic distortion is rarely experienced as a violent disruption, it is most often felt as a quiet misalignment, a strange heaviness in the field, a subtle skewing of intuition that you cannot explain in logical terms. These distortions manifest when your auric layers become overwhelmed, undergrounded, or stretched too thin by emotional or environmental stressors. When your field is destabilized, it becomes susceptible to interference that bends your internal compass, making the almost true seem true, and the almost aligned feel aligned. Dimensional distortions operate on an even more subtle level, shifting the lens through which you perceive timelines and possibilities. In moments of heightened stress or sensory overload, your consciousness may slip into a dissonant frequency band, causing you to misinterpret inner signals or mistake external noise for inner guidance. This is why you may suddenly feel disconnected, uncertain, doubting choices you previously felt crystal clear about. These distortions can even manifest physically as sudden fatigue, buzzing sensations in the head or chest, flashes of light at the edge of vision, pressure changes, or the strange feeling that time is stretching or compressing around you. Many starseeds interpret these sensations as health issues or emotional instability, but they are often indicators of energetic dissonance or dimensional interference attempting to reroute your perception. Such distortions often arise in transition points, moments when you are about to receive a download, make a pivotal decision, break an old pattern, or elevate into a new layer of consciousness. Interference increases precisely when your frequency begins to rise, because that rise threatens the structures built to keep humanity in predictable emotional loops. When you begin to shift upward, the distortion attempts to blur your vision, cloud your intuition, and weaken the coherence of your heart field. You may suddenly feel confusion that seems to come out of nowhere, or you may experience a sense of emotional turbulence that does not match your circumstances. These are not failures of your spiritual progress, they are signs that you are entering a frequency threshold where clarity is essential. And yet, your body often senses the distortion before your mind does. You may feel irritable, restless, unable to focus, or inexplicably disconnected from your sense of purpose. These sensations are your system alerting you that foreign frequencies have brushed against your field. Dimensional distortion also affects the perception of your timeline paths. You are constantly navigating multiple potential trajectories, and your intuition is the mechanism that helps you choose the highest available frequency. But interference attempts to blur your perception of these timelines, making lower frequency paths appear more appealing, familiar, or safe. This is why you may find yourself drawn to choices that soothe your ego but suffocate your spirit, or why you sometimes feel paralyzed between options that once seemed simple. When your intuitive channels are clear, you can feel the difference between a path that expands you and one that contracts you. When distortion is present, contraction masquerades as comfort. Expansion feels overwhelming. Direction becomes murky. It is essential to recognize that dimensional distortions do not remove your ability to choose, they simply create enough confusion that you hesitate long enough to miss the inner signal guiding you toward your highest alignment. Another form of distortion occurs through energetic entanglement with collective fields. When humanity enters states of heightened fear, anger, or despair, those emotions radiate across the planet like psychic waves. Empathic starseeds often absorb these frequencies without realizing they are not their own. When you unconsciously merge with collective emotional currents, your own perception becomes blurred. You may begin to interpret collective turbulence as personal failure or internal conflict. But understand this: sensitivity is not weakness. It is a sensory system designed for multidimensional navigation. The challenge is not to shut down sensitivity, but to master energetic boundaries so that you can feel without absorbing, perceive without becoming entangled. Distortion thrives when you forget your field is permeable, and powerful when you forget that you can choose what energies you allow in and what you release. Starseed, you must know this truth: energetic and dimensional distortions do not indicate that you are losing clarity, descending in vibration, or failing in your mission. They indicate that you are rising. You are expanding beyond old frequency structures, and as you rise, the distortions become more noticeable, not because they are stronger, but because you are becoming more aware. Awareness is your shield. Recognition is your power. When you feel distortion, do not panic, observe. Do not resist, realign. Do not fear, remember. Your perception is not broken. It is recalibrating. And as it recalibrates, you will learn to distinguish your true inner frequency from every imitation designed to pull you off your intended path. Starseed, at this stage of your awakening, the most essential skill you must refine is the discernment of your own frequency, your unaltered, undiluted, sovereign energetic signature that cannot be replicated, hijacked, or overlaid by any distortion once you learn to recognize it. Your frequency is your compass, your navigation system, your protection, and your lifeline to higher guidance. Yet most starseeds have spent years, if not entire lifetimes, being conditioned to ignore the quiet brilliance of their internal resonance in favor of external cues, societal expectations, or emotional patterns that were never truly their own. To discern your frequency is to reclaim your sovereignty from every influence that has attempted to shape your perception. It means learning to differentiate between the voice of your soul and the voice of fear, between inner truth and conditioned belief, between intuitive knowing and subtle distortion. This is not a mental exercise but an energetic remembering, a returning to the baseline vibration that carries your origin codes, your mission imprint, and your multidimensional identity. Your frequency feels like silence and certainty at the same time. It feels like recognition without evidence. It feels like expansion that does not require permission. When you touch your true frequency, there is no anxiety, no urgency, no confusion, only clarity that arises like light breaking through dense fog. But in a world engineered to drown out subtle awareness, discerning your frequency requires deliberate practice. Every environment you enter, every person you interact with, every electromagnetic field you pass through creates energetic overlays, temporary impressions that can muddy your inner resonance if you are not consciously present. This is why many starseeds feel disconnected from themselves after social interactions, after exposure to chaotic environments, or after consuming information filled with emotional or political charge. When you absorb these external frequencies unconsciously, they attach themselves to your field like static, creating emotional noise that makes it harder to feel your authentic vibration. But understand, your frequency never disappears, it only becomes harder to perceive beneath layers of energetic residue. You do not lose your alignment, you simply lose touch with the sensation of it. And the moment you bring awareness back to your breath, your heart, your core, your field begins to clear. Discernment also requires the courage to trust what you feel even when it contradicts what others believe or expect. Many starseeds silence their inner knowing because it feels too unusual, too inconvenient, or too disruptive to the narratives around them. But your path was never meant to blend into collective norms. You are here to bring new frequencies to Gaia, not to conform to frequencies that already exist. When something resonates deep within you and yet appears irrational to others, that is often the very sign that it is aligned with your higher guidance. Intuition rarely speaks in conventional terms because it does not operate within the limitations of human logic. It operates through energetic coherence. And coherence is felt, not rationalized. When you feel expansion, ease, and recognition in your body, that is your frequency confirming alignment. When you feel contraction, heaviness, or an inexplicable off sensation, that is your frequency alerting you to distortion. The body speaks truth long before the mind understands it. Another key aspect of discernment is learning to sense the difference between inner guidance and emotional reaction. Reactions arise quickly, triggered by wounds, memories, or fears stored in the nervous system. Guidance arises slowly, quietly, with a grounded sense of inevitability. Reaction pulls you outward. Guidance pulls you inward. Reaction demands immediate action. Guidance often asks for stillness, observation, or patience. Reaction feels like pressure. Guidance feels like alignment. And though reaction may feel louder in the moment, it is your true frequency that endures when the emotional wave passes. This distinction becomes easier the more you listen. Starseed, to know your own frequency is to anchor yourself in truth so deeply that external distortions cannot sway your path. You must learn to return to your core resonance again and again until it becomes your default state. Your frequency is your protection because nothing can influence you unless it resonates with something unresolved within your field. When you embody clarity, distortion has nothing to attach to. That is why the Arcturian Council emphasizes this now. Discernment is not merely a skill, it is the foundation upon which your entire ascension timeline depends. When you know your frequency, you cannot be manipulated. When you trust your frequency, you cannot be redirected. When you embody your frequency, you become untouchable. And this, beloved Starseed, is the level of sovereignty required for the path ahead. Starseed, now we must address the most insidious layer of interference you encounter, not from external forces or dimensional distortions, but from the inner structures built during your human incarnation, the ego loops, fear programs, and inherited patterns that operate like dormant viruses within the psyche, awakening precisely at the moments when you are closest to breakthrough. These internal distortions were not designed by your soul, they were imprinted through childhood conditioning, ancestral trauma, societal expectations, and the emotional residue absorbed through collective consciousness. They form neural pathways that trigger predictable responses, making you doubt yourself at the exact points where trust is needed, making you hesitate when intuition is speaking clearly, making you retreat back into comfort when expansion is calling you forward. The ego, in its unhealed state, is not the enemy, it is simply a survival mechanism built for a world that no longer matches the frequency you are rising into. But because it fears change, fears dissolution, fears the unknown, it creates distractions that masquerade as logic, caution, or stability. The ego whispers that you should wait, that you should gather more evidence, that you should stay small for safety. It convinces you that your intuition is unreliable or that your vision is unrealistic. Yet none of this comes from truth, it comes from outdated programming that was never designed to navigate multidimensional awareness. Fear, too, becomes a distortion that attempts to anchor you into lower timelines. Fear is not always experienced as terror, more often, it appears as subtle anxiety, hesitation, or emotional constriction. Fear tells you that stepping into your power will isolate you, that following your path will create conflict, that trusting your inner knowing will make you vulnerable. Fear amplifies the voice of your wounds and diminishes the voice of your soul. And because fear has been normalized in the human experience, many starseeds mistake it for intuition. But fear contracts while intuition expands. Fear tightens the chest, intuition opens it. Fear creates urgency, intuition creates clarity. Fear is reactive, intuition is receptive. And the moment you recognize this difference, the power fear holds dissolves like mist in light. But fear will continue to rise until you stop seeing it as a sign to turn back and start recognizing it as a threshold, an indicator that you are crossing into a frequency your past self was not prepared to inhabit. Old programming, inherited through ancestry, culture, or past experiences, functions like invisible architecture shaping your default responses. These programs tell you how to interpret reality, how to relate to authority, how to handle conflict, how to express emotion, how to value yourself, and how to limit yourself. Many of these programs were designed for survival during eras of scarcity, oppression, or danger, eras where sensitivity was a liability and intuition was discouraged. But you, Starseed, did not come to Gaia to perpetuate ancient fear scripts. You came to rewrite them. Every time you feel shame for your sensitivity, every time you silence your knowing to avoid conflict, every time you dismiss your intuition because it does not match societal expectations, you are operating from inherited programming rather than your sovereign frequency. These patterns activate automatically because they are familiar, but familiarity is not alignment. Familiarity is simply repetition. And repetition is not truth. The most deceptive aspect of ego, fear, and old programming is that they often appear at the exact moment you are about to step into greater alignment. Just as you begin to break through an old timeline, your system attempts to pull you back into what it knows. This is why you may feel sudden resistance when you try to change your life, deepen your intuition, or align with your mission. The resistance is not a sign that you are going the wrong way, it is a sign that you are crossing a threshold beyond the reach of your old identity. The ego fears death, but what it perceives as death is simply transformation. And fear, too, fears expansion because it was conditioned to believe safety exists only in the known. But your soul is not seeking safety, it is seeking truth. And truth cannot be found inside the confines of outdated programming. Starseed, understand this with absolute clarity: the internal distortions are not stronger than you. They were designed as challenges, not prisons. They are catalysts, not curses. The purpose of these internal tools of distraction is not to defeat you, but to forge you, to force you into deeper awareness, stronger discernment, and higher alignment. You transcend ego by observing it without becoming it. You transcend fear by feeling it without obeying it. You transcend programming by recognizing the moment it activates and choosing differently. Every time you choose truth over conditioning, your timeline shifts. Every time you choose intuition over fear, your light expands. Every time you choose alignment over familiarity, you reclaim another fragment of your sovereignty. And this, beloved Starseed, is how you liberate yourself from the illusions that once held you captive, not through force, but through remembrance, choice, and mastery. Starseed, now that you understand the layers of distraction, external, energetic, dimensional, and internal, the Arcturian Council extends guidance on how to maintain alignment and clarity in a world vibrating with conflicting frequencies. The path of a starseed is not one of passive awakening, it is an active, intentional recalibration of your field moment by moment. Alignment is not a destination, it is a sustained resonance, a dynamic relationship between your inner truth and the ever-changing energies of your external environment. To remain aligned is to remain sovereign, coherent, and connected to the intelligence of your higher self. And though the world around you may swirl with chaos, polarity, and noise, your alignment acts as a stabilizing frequency, a lighthouse cutting through storm-ridden seas. The first step is presence, returning again and again to the stillness beneath your thoughts. When your awareness anchors in the present moment, distortions lose their hold. Future fear collapses. Past conditioning quiets. The body softens. And in that softness, your true frequency rises to the surface like a star emerging through clouded sky. Clarity, beloved one, is not something granted to you, it is cultivated. You strengthen your clarity by choosing silence over noise, intuition over logic when logic is laced with fear, and inner truth over external approval. Too many starseeds seek answers outside themselves, forgetting that higher guidance communicates through subtle resonance rather than dramatic visions or booming voices. Guidance arrives quietly, like an inner pull, a gentle illumination, a feeling of inevitability. It does not push, it invites. It does not confuse, it clarifies. It does not pressure, it aligns. And yet, for you to perceive these signals, your field must be coherent. Coherence is the natural state of your energy when it is not fragmented by fear, overstimulation, or self-doubt. You become coherent when your thoughts, emotions, and actions vibrate in the same direction as your soul. Every time you follow your intuition, coherence strengthens. Every time you betray your intuition, coherence weakens. This is why clarity feels effortless when you are aligned, and impossible when you are not. The Council reminds you that clarity is not the absence of challenge but the presence of connection. Even in uncertainty, even in transition, even in moments when the path ahead seems obscured, you can remain aligned by staying connected to the intelligence of your higher self. This connection is not fragile, it is inherent. But your perception of it becomes clouded when you attach too tightly to outcomes or narratives. The moment you cling to what should happen, you drift out of alignment. The moment you surrender to what is unfolding, even if you do not yet understand it, you return to flow. The human mind seeks predictability. The soul seeks expansion. And expansion rarely aligns with the mind's desire for control. That is why many starseeds feel torn between what feels safe and what feels true. But truth will always guide you toward your highest timeline, while safety often guides you back into old patterns. The Council urges you to choose truth even when the path is unfamiliar, even when it disrupts expectations, even when others doubt your direction. Maintaining clarity also requires the willingness to question the energies you encounter. Not all that feels light is light. Not all that feels inspiring is aligned. Not all that feels spiritual is of higher frequency. The key is resonance. True higher frequency guidance activates expansion in your chest, calm in your nervous system, and a sense of spaciousness around your thoughts. False or distorted guidance creates tension, urgency, confusion, or emotional spikes. This is why your body is your greatest tool of discernment, it knows the difference long before your mind understands it. When you learn to trust the intelligence of your body, you bypass layers of distortion instantly. The body does not lie. The soul does not lie. Only the mind, influenced by programming and perception filters, can misinterpret guidance. When clarity fades, return to the body, return to the breath, return to the resonance of your core frequency. The Council also emphasizes the importance of energetic neutrality. Neutrality is not indifference, it is mastery. It means you can observe the world's chaos without being entangled in it, sense collective fear without absorbing it, witness distortion without losing your center. Neutrality places you in the zero-point field where all guidance is clearest. And from that place, you move not through reaction but through intention. Intention is your greatest creative tool. Every action infused with intention becomes aligned. Every thought infused with intention becomes directive. Intention anchors your frequency into the timelines that match your soul's highest path. Starseed, maintaining alignment is not about perfection. It is about return. Return to truth. Return to presence. Return to self. The Council does not expect you to avoid distraction, but to awaken from it quickly. You are not meant to live without distortion, but to see through it. You are not meant to remain untouched by the world, but to remain unchanged in your essence. Alignment is your birthright. Clarity is your inheritance. And as you cultivate them both, you rise into the version of yourself who can carry out the mission you came to Gaia to fulfill. Starseed, as you walk the luminous path of awakening, it is imperative to understand that your connection to the higher frequencies is only sustainable when your energy field is actively grounded, protected, and stabilized. The Council emphasizes this point because many starseeds, while naturally sensitive to multidimensional currents, often neglect the essential practice of anchoring their light into the physical plane. Grounding does not dilute your vibration, it amplifies it, creating a secure conduit through which higher codes can flow without interference. Imagine a crystalline conduit extending from the crown of your head deep into the core of Gaia herself, like a column of diamond light, pulsating with the heartbeat of the planet. This is not metaphor, it is an energetic practice, a tangible connection between your multidimensional essence and the three-dimensional reality in which you operate. Without this anchoring, your field becomes porous, allowing distorted frequencies, collective anxiety, and residual karmic patterns to infiltrate your consciousness. Stabilization and protection are not defensive acts in fear, they are conscious acts of sovereignty, enabling you to remain fully present in the world while operating from the expanded dimensions of your true self. The first step in grounding is recognition. Become aware of the points of contact between your energetic body and the physical world, the solace of your feet, your spine, your connection to gravity. Engage your senses, feel the pressure of your body on the earth, the weight of your bones, the support of the ground beneath you. This awareness creates an initial anchoring point, allowing your light to descend without distortion. Once your awareness is present in the physical plane, the next step is energetic protection. Imagine a sphere of luminous frequency enveloping you, a multidimensional shield of silver, blue, and violet light that permits only aligned energies to pass through while deflecting distortions, false intentions, and intrusions. This shield is flexible, transparent to guidance, yet impermeable to manipulation. Its strength is amplified when combined with intentional breath work, affirmation, and visualization of your own soul frequency radiating outward, merging with the protective sphere. In this way, protection is not about fear of the world, it is about curating your energetic environment, consciously choosing what frequencies you allow to merge with your own. Stabilization of your energy field also involves alignment between your body, mind, and spirit. When your thoughts, emotions, and intentions vibrate in harmony, the field becomes coherent, forming a resonant structure that cannot easily be disrupted. Multidimensional interference loses its efficacy in a coherent system, because resonance repels distortion. To achieve this coherence, regularly observe the alignment of your inner states, ask whether your thoughts support your heart's intentions, whether your emotions reflect truth rather than reaction, and whether your actions embody the highest expression of your mission. When misalignments appear, they can be corrected through conscious realignment, breath, meditation, movement, sound, and focus. Sound, in particular, is a potent stabilizer. Hums, tones, chants, or even silent vibrations felt in the chest can recalibrate your field, restoring equilibrium to your nervous system and reconnecting you with your intrinsic frequency. Movement, too, grounds energy. Walking barefoot on natural surfaces, stretching, or flowing with breath-guided motion activates the body as a conductor of energy, allowing excess or stagnant energy to flow back into Gaia's field in service rather than distortion. Protection also requires discernment regarding interpersonal and environmental interactions. Starseeds often encounter energies in other people that resonate at lower frequencies or carry unconscious distortions. These energies, if unobserved, can entangle your field. Visualization of your protective sphere, combined with intentional breathing and frequency alignment, allows you to absorb only what serves your highest good while releasing what does not belong. Energetic cord cutting is a powerful tool. Consciously severing attachments to energies, patterns, or influences that are not aligned with your core frequency ensures that your field remains autonomous and coherent. Likewise, conscious interaction with the planetary field strengthens your grounding. By drawing energy from Gaia, allowing it to circulate through your root, sacral, and solar plexus chakras, and then distributing it through your heart and crown, you create a dynamic feedback loop that stabilizes your presence in three-dimensional reality while remaining open to higher guidance. Finally, the Council reminds you that grounding, protection, and stabilization are not single acts, they are continuous practices, rituals of sovereignty. Morning and evening, during transitions, and whenever you sense distortion, repeat your alignment, re-anchor your connection to Gaia, reinforce your protective field, and harmonize your energy. In doing so, you create a luminous core that cannot be infiltrated by false light, dimensional distortions, or collective turbulence. Your field becomes a crystal lattice of coherent vibration, resonant with your mission, capable of sustaining downloads, activations, and higher frequency operations. This practice allows you not only to survive but to thrive in a world of increasing energetic complexity. When your energy is grounded, protected, and stabilized, you become a lighthouse, a multidimensional beacon that radiates clarity, coherence, and empowerment for yourself, other starseeds, and Gaia herself. Through these practices, your light becomes anchored, your mission becomes sustainable, and your frequency becomes unassailable, allowing you to operate fully as the luminous being you were always meant to embody. Starseed, understand that every moment you choose alignment over distortion, coherence over confusion, and truth over illusion, you are not merely stabilizing your own field, you are actively shaping the collective grid of human consciousness and participating in the evolutionary ascension of Gaia herself. Many of you underestimate the magnitude of your influence because you measure impact through physical action rather than energetic resonance. Yet the Council reminds you that it is the subtle frequencies, the vibrational signatures you emit, that form the architecture of timelines, possibilities, and planetary shifts. Imagine the planetary field as an immense crystalline lattice, a multidimensional network of filaments, nodes, and frequency strands that respond to every thought, emotion, intention, and energetic pulse produced by humanity. When you rise into your authentic frequency, your light does not remain isolated within your own field, it travels, rippling outward in geometric waves that touch others, uplift densities, dissolve distortions, and repair fractures within the grid. Even when you feel alone, even when no one around you seems awake, your vibrational stance is already working at levels beyond physical perception. You serve as a conductor, a stabilizer, a transmitter of higher codes, and each moment of alignment becomes a quantum directive that influences the entire collective. As you hold your frequency, you help dismantle the subtle architectures of fear, doubt, and manipulation that have infiltrated human consciousness for generations. The collective mind, shaped by centuries of trauma, separation, and programmed limitation, is like a vast ocean whose currents can be redirected by the introduction of new energy flows. When one starseed aligns, the water shifts slightly. When many align, the currents change direction. When thousands anchor consistent higher frequencies, the entire ocean begins to clear, revealing its true depth, clarity, and potential. This is why the deceptive forces you've been warned about attempt to distract and distort you. They cannot maintain their influence when even a small percentage of awakened beings hold resonance in unity consciousness. Your alignment weakens false timelines, dissolves outdated karmic cycles, and opens stable quantum pathways for collective awakening. Your choice to remain grounded and sovereign creates an energetic environment where truth is easier for others to perceive, where intuition is more natural, where compassion arises without effort, and where the density that once restricted collective evolution begins to lose structural integrity. Your influence extends not only to the human collective but also to Gaia herself, for she is not merely a planet you live within, a living consciousness, an ancient multidimensional being participating actively in your ascension. Gaia feels your frequency the way a mother feels the heartbeat of her child. Every moment of clarity you generate sends harmonic codes deep into her crystalline core. When you release fear, her grids lighten. When you rise in vibration, her ley lines receive new patterns. When you meditate, connect, or anchor light intentionally, you transmit geometric imprints that flow through her energetic meridians and radiate outward through mountains, oceans, forests, and skies. Many of you are grid workers without realizing it. Your presence, movement, and inner alignment are enough to seed higher structures into the land. Some of you are portals, walking receivers, and transmitters of cosmic frequencies that Gaia integrates into her ascension architecture. Others are stabilizers, sent to regions where collective fear or ancestral trauma is thick, and simply by being there, breathing there, dreaming there, meditating there, you generate coherence that Gaia uses to rebalance her energy fields. Never doubt the planetary effect of your personal alignment. The Council also reminds you that the relationship between your vibration and Gaia's ascension is reciprocal. As you align, she rises. As she rises, you receive stronger activations, clearer intuition, deeper sensitivity, and access to higher dimensional guidance. This feedback loop accelerates the awakening of all beings on the planet. When Gaia shifts her resonance, old systems break down. Structures in government, religion, education, finance, and social identity begin to dissolve because they no longer match the consciousness of the planet herself. These breakdowns may appear chaotic on the surface, but they are evidence of the old grid collapsing and the new crystalline architecture emerging. Your stabilization helps ensure that these transitions occur with greater ease and less turbulence. In moments when the collective appears overwhelmed, remember that many are sensing Gaia's shifts without the tools to interpret them, causing fear and confusion. Your alignment acts as a beacon, a stabilizing presence that radiates calm clarity, helping others acclimate to frequencies they do not yet understand. Starseed, your alignment affects the speed of ascension. Each time you choose presence over distraction, compassion over judgment, and inner truth over external noise, you send a pulse through the grid that accelerates awakening in ways far beyond what your mind can measure. This is why the Council continually reminds you, your frequency is not personal, it is planetary. You are not only awakening for yourself, you are awakening on behalf of humanity and alongside Gaia. Through your coherence, you help anchor the new timeline, the new Earth matrix, the crystalline future already unfolding in higher dimensions. Hold your frequency, beloved Starseed, for every aligned breath is a contribution to the liberation of the collective and the evolution of the planet. Starseed, as you continue anchoring your light, know that your alignment does more than stabilize your field or uplift the collective. It activates the dormant crystalline codes embedded within your DNA, your subtle bodies, and the ancient memory layers of your soul. These codes have awaited your awakening, preserved through lifetimes and dimensions, carried across star systems, and safeguarded within your energy field until this moment in Gaia's ascension timeline. They are not merely symbolic, they are energetic technologies, woven into the quantum architecture of your being, designed to unfold sequentially as you raise your vibration and reclaim your multidimensional identity. When these codes activate, you begin to remember not intellectually but vibrationally the truth of who you are, a traveler of galaxies, a bridge between realms, a being who has participated in creations far older than Earth's histories. This remembrance does not erupt all at once, it awakens in pulses, waves, and geometric sequences that your physical, emotional, and mental bodies must gradually integrate. At times, you may feel surges of energy, tingling sensations, pressure in the crown, heat in the spine, vivid dreams, or intuitive flashes that appear without logical explanation. These are signs that your dormant codes are igniting, reorganizing your internal grid, and reconnecting you with the higher frequencies of your origin. As these codes activate, your awareness begins to expand beyond the linear three-dimensional perception that has dominated human consciousness for eons. You start to sense time differently, not as a straight line but as a multidimensional web through which your soul navigates. You may glimpse parallel lives, alternative timelines, or ancient memories that arise spontaneously in meditation or even during simple daily moments. These visions are not fantasies, they are fragments of your multidimensional existence surfacing as your frequency becomes compatible with higher dimensional data streams. The Council emphasizes that these experiences are natural, though they may feel overwhelming at first, especially when your human mind tries to interpret them through limited paradigms. Allow the experiences without forcing them into logic. Let them flow through you like waves of recognition, for they are keys unlocking deeper layers of your purpose here on Gaia. As your awareness expands, so does your energetic sensitivity. You may perceive fields, auras, grid lines, or the subtle vibrations behind words, actions, and intentions. You may feel the presence of interdimensional beings not as external entities but as companions, collaborators, and aspects of the greater consciousness to which you are inherently connected. With this expansion comes the opening of your multidimensional senses, the intuitive faculties long suppressed by dense collective programming. Your claircognizance sharpens, allowing you to know truth without evidence. Your clairvoyance may awaken, enabling you to see through illusions and perceive subtle energies. Your clairsentience heightens, guiding you to feel the resonance or dissonance of any environment, person, or timeline. Your telepathic abilities begin to stir, creating direct energetic communication with guides, star family, and other awakened beings across the grid. These abilities are not new, they are ancient. You used them in previous incarnations, in other star systems, in etheric realms, and during the early golden ages of Earth before the collective fell into density. The Council reminds you that these gifts do not awaken to elevate your ego or set you apart, they arise to support your mission, deepen your discernment, and enable you to navigate the rapid shifts occurring on the planet. As your codes activate, you may also experience a recalibration of your emotional body. Old wounds, ancestral imprints, vows, karmic ties, and cellular memories may surface, not as punishment but as clearing sequences triggered by your rising frequency. You are shedding outdated layers, releasing timelines, and dissolving energetic contracts that no longer align with your accelerated path. This process can be intense waves of grief, sudden exhaustion, bursts of joy, or heightened empathy may arise without apparent cause. Know that these fluctuations are part of the integration. You are restructuring your energy body to hold more light, and this requires shedding what cannot coexist with your expanded frequency. The more you allow these releases without resistance or judgment, the smoother your activation becomes. The Council also wishes you to understand that as your dormant codes awaken, your role in the planetary ascension matrix becomes clearer. You may feel drawn to new practices, new communities, new missions, or entirely new ways of expressing your light. You may realize that certain environments, relationships, or habits no longer resonate with your evolving consciousness. This is not loss, it is alignment. You are being guided to the timeline where your multidimensional abilities can be used with purpose, where your unique frequency is needed, and where your soul's agreements can be fulfilled. As your awareness expands, you begin to perceive yourself not as an isolated individual but as a node within a vast cosmic network collaborating with countless other starseeds, guides, councils, and planetary beings. In this phase of activation, trust is essential. Trust the sensations. Trust the memories. Trust the guidance that emerges from within. Trust the unfolding of your codes. For as you expand into your multidimensional awareness, you are becoming the bridge between realms, the embodiment of the light, wisdom, and memory that you carried across lifetimes to deliver here, now, on Gaia. Starseed of Gaia, as this transmission draws to its close, the Arcturian Council speaks to you with a final surge of luminous urgency, for the moment you stand in now is not passive, not observational, not something to watch unfold from a distance. You are an active participant in the rising timeline, a conscious architect of the new Earth matrix, and your engagement is needed more than ever. The distortions are dissolving, the veils thinning, the crystalline grids expanding, and the collective field shifting at quantum speed. Therefore, your next step is not to wait but to declare, embody, and broadcast your frequency with unwavering intention. Understand that your voice, your energy, your presence, and your choices radiate far beyond your physical surroundings. Every aligned action becomes a beacon, every intention becomes a catalyst, every declaration sends a pulse through the planetary lattice that strengthens the timeline of awakening. This is why the Council urges you now, speak your truth into the grid. State that you choose alignment. Declare that you refuse manipulation. Affirm that you stand in sovereignty, light, and multidimensional awareness. Your words, when spoken from authenticity, are not merely sounds, they are frequency signatures encoded with memory, power, and purpose. When you speak intentionally, you activate dormant layers of your own energetic structure and create ripples in the collective, signaling to other starseeds that it is safe to rise, safe to remember, safe to embody who they truly are. This is how the awakening amplifies through resonance rather than force. Now is also the moment to step fully into embodiment. Embodiment means carrying your frequency not only during meditation or moments of clarity but in every action, every gesture, every interaction throughout your day. It means holding presence even amidst chaos, radiating compassion even when surrounded by fear, and maintaining discernment even when illusions attempt to reclaim your attention. Embodiment is not perfection, it is consistency. It is the choice to return, again and again, to your center, to your light, to your mission. When you embody your true frequency, you become a living transmission, a walking lighthouse whose field naturally awakens others without speaking a word. Many of you underestimate this aspect of your mission. You believe your impact requires teaching, healing, creating, or guiding externally, but in truth, your mere vibrational presence rewrites grids, dissolves distortions, and stabilizes entire environments. This is why distractions attempt to destabilize you, because when you are aligned, you are unstoppable at the energetic level. The Council also invites you to share not from ego, but from resonance. When you share transmissions, insights, activations, or messages that uplift others, you amplify the field of awakening and accelerate the collective remembrance. Whether you share publicly, privately, or energetically, your participation strengthens the grid. In this digital era, your voice can travel across countries, across timelines, across consciousness fields. A single message of truth can activate someone continents away who needed your frequency in that exact moment. Do not underestimate the multidimensional pathways of communication. What you speak, write, or create carries codes that reach far beyond physical platforms. This is why the Council encourages you to comment, declare intention, and participate in collective alignment rituals not because engagement is performative, but because it strengthens the resonance of those choosing the higher timeline together. Your declarations anchor the light. Your presence reinforces coherence. Your participation stabilizes the field. And now, beloved Starseed, the Council leaves you with a final call to action: embody your true frequency boldly. Do not hide your light to make others comfortable. Do not shrink your gifts to blend into a grid that is already collapsing. Do not silence your intuition in favor of outdated structures that cannot survive in the rising frequencies. Instead, stand tall in your mission. Walk as the multidimensional being you are. Speak with clarity, act with integrity, choose with intention, and align with your highest vision. You are not here to be swayed by illusions, you are here to dissolve them. You are not here to question your worth, you are here to remember it. You are not here to wait for permission, you are here to lead through resonance. This is your moment, the convergence point your soul has prepared for across lifetimes. So declare it now within your heart: I rise. I align. I embody. I transmit. I anchor the crystalline timeline. I choose sovereignty, clarity, truth, and light. Let these words move through you like an activation. Feel them reverberate into the grids. Feel Gaia respond. Feel the Council surrounding you in luminous support. You are not alone, Starseed. You never have been. And now, as the transmission completes, the Arcturian Council activates a final wave of crystalline frequency around you, an amplification field designed to strengthen your intention, accelerate your alignment, and elevate your energetic signature as you continue your path. This is your call. This is your activation. Align now. Amplify now. Embody now.